Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Stephanie. Happy birthday to you. I don't know if it's your birthday too, but here's how I treat my birthday. I treat my birthday more important than New Year's, where, everyone wants to set a New Year's resolution. What do they want to do? And what do they want to achieve this year? Well, that's how I treat my birthday. So today I want to talk to you about why today, August 22nd, and moving forward for the next 90 days, I am doing a new commitment challenge. The reason is all of August thus far, so essentially the 3 weeks leading up till today, I have been going easy. I have fallen into a bit of a casual slump, if you will, compared to where I was before. So I started May 3rd bouncing on the trampoline for the very first time. And I made that all the way until 3 months later. And in that period of time, that was a 90-day period, I learned a whole lot, including how to bounce and using gentler motions for bouncing versus having to come off of the trampoline so much. And I tested out 6 different trampolines in that period of time as well. Most of those towards the later stages. But in doing so, I've learned so much about myself and my body. Oh, that's another thing. I started collecting the data about my body. And I saw my weight go up. I saw my weight come back down. And so I started August with a couple of different decisions. One, it was a lot to be posting daily videos. It wasn't just the workout, it was the editing and the planning and the publishing and all the other things that go into keeping a YouTube channel alive with a daily video. So I decided, is this really the precedent that I want to set for myself moving forward? And the answer to that was clearly a no. I didn't want to have to feel that obligation and that commitment. There are parts of it that I loved, and there are parts of it that I was like, it's a lot to publish every single day. So I did decide to make that change at the start of August. But what came with that, what I did not properly prepare for, was that if I wasn't publishing every day, that means I wasn't showing up every day on the rebounder in front of the camera. And at first that was okay. And then I started to notice a decline in my performance. And I'm still taking, because I have a rebounder inside as well. And I move these around and all different things. But anyhow, I have one right outside of my office, which is also right next to the kitchen area. There's like a whole, I guess what they designed it for is to be like a sit-in kitchen area. But since the dining room is so close and we have an island in the kitchen, I've never seen a need to put a table there. So it's just been a big open space. Now I have a rebounder right there, and it also looks out over the pond. So it's a perfect indoor space to bounce. And so I find myself taking little micro breaks and bouncing just for a couple minutes, or I'll put on a song and I'll ask Alexa, how long is this song? And she'll say 4 minutes or 5 minutes. I'll just bounce out the whole song. And I love that. But what I've not been doing as consistently are my regular routine workouts. And so I'm noticing a difference in my body. The other thing that I've done differently throughout August is summer camp ended the last week of July. And with summer camp, I was going to the gym every single day, 5 days a week. And so it was really easy just to show up a little bit earlier for pickup and go get my strength training done. And I was using the weight machines at the gym to do lower body, upper body. And I was alternating days. So I was in the gym about 4 times a week. And it was great. I was getting that in. And so between what I was doing on the rebounder, what I was doing in the gym, these last 3 weeks, I haven't been doing that with that same level of consistency. And the reason I point that out is because I'm feeling it in my body. Especially I'm feeling it in here, in my hips. And I'm pointing to this area versus like the front of my hips because that's where I'm feeling it. And like if I have sat and I go to get up, it's like so stiff. And I don't like that for my joints. I don't like that for my overall movement and capacity, what I can do and how I'm feeling. But the other thing I would say is I feel like my stamina level is still there. I can still do the same kind of things on the rebounder that I ended the month with, even when I'm not bouncing consistently in the same increment. The other thing that I did do for the first time, which just happened about 5 days ago, is I followed along with a workout video entirely devoted to rebounding. And that's the first time I've ever done that. I have watched a lot of videos, mostly in the short form capacity. But the other day, with one of my favorite creators, I put on I think it was like a 22-minute video. And I put my rebounder in front of the television and I just followed along to the routine and I did it. And like, it wasn't a high impact routine. It was a simpler routine where she does everything in minute increments for that whole time. But that was my first 20-minute workout, 20 plus actually. And I did it and I felt strong and I felt powerful and I was amazed at what I've done. So all that to say, where I'm at right now, I went yesterday and did my measurements. And I do that every other week, so every 2 weeks. And I was expecting to have gained weight because of how I'm feeling. I thought, surely this achiness is because I've gained weight and now I'm carrying extra pounds. And so I was disappointed with that, but I knew that was on me for not working out at the same amount. Turns out, and this is even after I'd eaten a light breakfast, so I didn't even have an empty stomach to go weigh in, but I go to weigh and I'm down more weight. So that's great. However, I looked at the measurements and it wasn't fat loss, it was muscle loss. So what I've lost in the last 3 weeks, it's not entirely all that, but it was at least 2 pounds of muscle. And that makes me sad because I'm here to develop and grow my muscle, not to lose my muscle. And it took a lot to earn those muscles. So that's why I've decided here on my birthday that for the next 3 months, I am going to get back into bouncing. Oh, I'm going to get back in to bouncing every day. And doesn't matter if I'm recording them or not, but it just matters for me that I am showing up and I am doing the work. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also aiming to put in 20 minutes a day on the rebounder. It does not have to all be at once. I might do, a 10 to 12 is where I normally land on a session. I might do that and then make sure I add in enough smaller independent bounces. But what it taught me is I thought, okay, if I was doing a 10-minute session all at once before, and I just make sure I get in 2 5-minute sessions, that will be the same. It has not been the same for my body. I don't know why. And so I think there is something to the fact of being able to go for longer periods of time, even if it's just getting from 5 to 10. And so I'm going to test that. I don't have any science or any data to give you. I'm just telling you what has been doing, the impacts in my own body and how I'm feeling. And so what I want to change is making sure I do at least a 10-minute session. And then I can do 2 5 minutes throughout the day. And I'm totally fine with that. Or do one day where maybe I will start following more videos and doing that. So I'm also in a training class to be certified as a rebounding instructor. And so it's the basics, like learning the foundational basics of putting together your movements. So it's all these different things coming together as I am emerging and becoming the next version of myself. I'm also super excited to see where the next 90 days can take me because the first 90 days changed me so much. And that was with me struggling on a rebounder that didn't properly support me for 6 weeks at that time. So essentially half of that time. And starting from zero and not being able to go is, being 5 minutes and not being really tough. So I know that I've grown a lot. I know my capacity has gone up a good deal. And the fact that I can start where I'm at now and keep going. I'm also going to add in at least 2 days in the gym for my lower body workout, because that's where, your majority of your big muscles are. And I want to make sure I'm supporting myself on the rebounder by building up those muscles. The reason I'm not overstressing getting back in for the upper body is because I'm also going to be trying something else that I'm not ready to talk about just yet. That is at home, and that is for my upper body. And so more to come on that in the future. I'm going to keep following my high protein, low carb meal plan and keep taking the supplements so I stay hydrated beyond just drinking water. What else? Oh, walking at least a mile a day, which is up from where I started my first 90 days, because I was doing about a half a mile a day. Now I'm doing a mile a day or more. And the weather is also going to be much cooler for this 90-day segment. That 90-day segment took me into summer. This 90-day segment is taking me out of summer. And so I'm excited about that. So that's my plan for the next 90 days. You are welcome to come alongside me and to join in and see what you can do. And just pick up any day that you watch this. It doesn't have to be today. It's just today, August 22nd, is seriously, always has been. I'm that person who loves to celebrate my birthday because I'm so grateful that God has given me another year, and I'm blessed with the life that I have, and I appreciate that. And I want to celebrate that. I've never been that person who gets grumpy about birthdays. I want to appreciate them and love on myself. And yeah, I welcome the love and attention on my birthday. So yes, if you want to say something, I appreciate that. And I'm grateful always for you watching and being here and being part of the journey. The other thing that I'm going to do is continue to give you more glimpses behind the scenes of what I'm doing, talking about my experiences, because it's not always easy. And that's why I'm being honest about what I've done these last few weeks. And I think I needed just that little bit of a buffer break. And just to give myself some time to kind of recalibrate before I dove into another 90 days. So be gentle with yourself. Be gracious about what you're going through, because we need different things at different times. And I feel entirely motivated and ready for this next round. Then I can say August 1st, I was feeling a little bit stagnant and burnt out, and I just needed some time to reset. And now it's like I'm craving it again. And so sometimes it's the element of something new and something fresh. But at the same time, it's not like it's a brand new activity to me. It's a brand new season. And for that, I'm very excited. The last thing I will tell you is that I have set a goal. So I want to release 20 pounds in the next 90 days. Now, if you know about my first 90 days, I went up 10 pounds, then came down 10 pounds. And then I think there was an extra 2 pounds of loss on that. I'm 2 pounds down from that point. And so I'm going to mark for myself where I'm at. And what I'm going to do here is just let you know in that 20-pound goal where I'm at with hitting that. Because I don't have to necessarily share the exact number that I'm at, because that's not relevant. You're tracking your own body. What's relevant is, are you hitting your goals? And so have you made your goal big enough that it is a challenge? Because I think back, okay, well, I didn't do that in my first 90 days. This is a big challenge for me to prove that I can in the next 90 days. So the goal is big enough, but it is obtainable, realistic. I believe I can do it. That's the other part of your goal. It has to be big enough to challenge you, that something's going to have to change in your life. But at the same time, it is realistic and you can believe it can happen for you. So I've set goals before that I've seen other people do. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. But I didn't believe it for myself. The key to hitting any kind of goal is you have to believe it's possible for you. Okie doke. I'm at 15 minutes. See, that's awesome. See, I can do this. Can I do this? Yes, I can do this. Can you do this? Yes, you put whatever amount works for you. But me saying, can I bounce for 20 minutes a day? Yes. It's just a point of, I was getting a little bit lazy and a little bit to the point that I didn't have to show up and do a video, which was keeping me accountable. I've had to learn a new stage of accountability for myself. So if it's not about creating daily videos for YouTube, how am I showing up? Why am I showing up? And it has to be a personal motivation, a personal driver, just like it will be for you, because I don't think that everybody watching is also creating YouTube content in this way to keep you motivated and challenged to show up. So find what your motivation is for you and where you want to go with that. The other thing is I just did a 2-part series on when to bounce in the day. And a big part of that is, how do you want to feel? So are you using it to wake up? Are you using it for digestion? One big thing for me is regulating my energy, which comes down to regulating my blood sugar levels. And here's the part of this I will tell you is, I know that when I get lazy and I don't do my workout, meaning I put it off, I'm just using some kind of justification, some kind of an excuse in my mind for why I don't want to do it right now. Like this morning, I ate my breakfast, which was a high protein breakfast. It was a very good, clean breakfast, but I've not eaten anything all night. And I came at it rather hungry. And that being said, I'm a person who has a sensitive blood sugar. And so if I eat and then I don't move, even if I'm eating clean, it's not like I'm sitting and eating a lot of carbs. If I ate a lot of carbs, I would expect to crash because my blood sugar levels. But eating something that clean and that high protein, there should not have been a crash if I just sort of got up and moved. But I was sitting out on the deck. I was doing a puzzle and listening to a Bible study while I was having my breakfast. The Bible study, I just could have switched to my phone and gone for a walk and kept listening to it. But I was into that puzzle. And it's a super cute 500-piece puzzle of dogs. And anyhow, but I was just in the zone. And I was enjoying my puzzle building that I put off going for the walk right then. And then I put off the walk a little bit more. And so I did. And so I put off building. So I put off taking the walk because I wanted some more time to work on the puzzle. And then when I did get up from working on the puzzle, I was stiff in my joints and I just felt sluggish. And so I went up to my room to get dressed for the walk. But instead of going on the walk, I decided, oh, puppy, I'm just going to snuggle with you for a minute. And because he was already laying on the bed. And so I go to hold him and I laid on the bed. And next thing I know, I just fell asleep because my body just went into a low state of energy because it was processing my food. I don't know if you're like that. I don't know necessarily why I'm like that, but I have observed that pattern in my body. And so it's just important to notice the patterns in your own body and how your body works. And so for me, when I'm thinking about when I want to bounce, when I want to walk, how I'm going to space out my movement throughout the day, I'm trying to attach that to my meals so that shortly after I have a meal, I'm doing a gentle bounce or I'm going for a walk, because both of those are great at regulating my energy, helping me process my food. And so I don't have those crashes. Now, that nap was a very simple nap. It was a short nap, but the point was I did have it. And I'm not looking to fall asleep and have random naps throughout the day. I'm looking to build up and have consistent strong energy. So find the time that works for you and makes sense in your body, because you've become a scientist to collect enough data that you understand how your body is working, how you can work with your body to support it to achieve your own goals. You got this, friend. Thanks for taking the journey with me on today's first day of my second 90-day commitment to working out daily for 90 days on the Rebounder, August 22nd to November 22nd, 2025, celebrating my birthday. Have a great one. Happy bouncing, friend.